What happens when you bet on yourself? For Peter Cancro, it turned into an $8 billion payday. Jersey Mike's just sold the majority stake in the company to the private equity giant Blackstone. And this isn't just another acquisition story, but it's a masterclass in building an empire. And today, we're going to break down the 3 lessons that you can learn from this deal to help grow your business. So let's go. Lesson number 1 is betting on yourself. So let's rewind to 1956 when Mike's Subs first opened its location in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. The original owners, Mike and Pat, created something special, a local institution known for authentic Northeastern style subs. Fast forward to 1971, a 14-year-old kid named Peter Cancro walks through the door and gets a job part-time during the school year and then full-time during the summers. A few years later, 1975, the owners were ready to retire, and Peter was a high school senior and wanted to buy the business. Owners were asking $125,000, and Peter, being an ambitious 17-year-old, put together a plan to raise the money. He got a third of it from his grandmother, and 2/3 he got as a loan from his former football coach, Rod Smith, who also happened to be a banker. Now, his coach didn't see Peter as just another teenager with some wild dream. He saw him as someone who understood the fundamentals of business better than most adults. So Peter cancels his plans to go to college to bet 100% on himself and his brand new business. 5 years later, 1980, he opens up his second location 15 minutes away, but this location struggled, and Peter was forced to sell it a year later. For many people, this failure could have been the end of this big dream. For Peter, this was just part of his story that he obviously learned from. Every entrepreneur has setbacks. The road to success is never smooth. And by the way, if you want to learn more about building wealth through franchising, smash that subscribe button. Right now, I'm putting out 2 new videos every single week, and I appreciate your support. Lesson number 2 is to start small but think big. Blackstone founder Steve Sorselman wrote one of my favorite books titled What It Takes. And the key takeaway in this book is that it takes the same amount of energy, time, and effort to build a small company as it does a large one, so you might as well go big to reap the rewards. A lot of people start a business and stay small. They essentially buy themselves a job, while other entrepreneurs build massive companies. So what's the difference? It's not having great ideas, money, talent, or even luck. Now, the most successful entrepreneurs follow a simple formula. First, they think big. I'm talking about setting a goal that is beyond the realm of what you think is possible. A goal so big that it's a little embarrassing to tell someone else out of fear that they will laugh at your ambition. Now, unfortunately, dreaming big isn't enough on its own. The key is to take action, creating a plan, and then being very intentional in making progress every day. No matter how big your goal is, everyone starts somewhere. You start with a single location, a single customer, and it only takes one to get into the game. Then you have to work every day towards building that vision. Now, for Peter, he easily could have been discouraged about his second failed location, but he continued to work towards his dreams of making Jersey Mike's a big company. As the years passed, many customers visiting the shore on vacation packed up subs to take them back home to the Philadelphia area, and they encouraged Peter to open up more locations near where they lived in Philadelphia. And this was the inspiration that Peter needed. Instead of repeating the same mistake of operating multiple locations himself, he chose to franchise the business instead. He needed local owners who cared as much as he did. And in 1987, Jersey Mike's franchise was born. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Brian Beers. I was also born in 1997, and today I own a portfolio of over 30 franchises and help other people find, operate, and scale profitable franchises. Lesson number 3 is that simplicity scales, complexity kills. Today, Jersey Mike's has over 3,000 franchise locations. They do over $4 billion in system-wide sales, and I personally contribute $30 to my local Jersey Mike's almost every single week, but that's an average revenue of $1.3 million per store. Impressive numbers for a sandwich shop. Systematizing every aspect of your business is the key to this massive growth. A great system can produce consistent results no matter who's running it. Staff can turn over, but the sandwiches and the experience from store to store stay the same. The best franchises have strong systems. So what makes a good system? First is simplicity. A simple system has less moving parts. A system that has 3 steps will be easier to get 100% execution on versus a 10-step process. For Jersey Mike's, simplicity is a limited menu. There's only 3 core toppings: lettuce, tomato, and onion. There's only 3 core spreads: oil, vinegar, and mayo. There's only 3 core spices: salt, pepper, and oregano. There's 5 bread choices, compared to a complex system where a lot of things could go wrong. Now, the second thing is training. A simple system is easier to explain and train. The learning curve is very quick for new employees. Every Jersey Mike's franchisee goes through an intense 12-week training program, no exceptions, compared to a 4 to 6 week training program for most fast food chains. Ask yourself, what in your business could you simplify and systematize? And while it may seem counterintuitive, intuitive, reducing your offerings, focusing on less things could massively grow your business. So what happens next with Blackstone? Well, private equity giants like Blackstone can be a blessing or a curse to a business. On the positive side, they can provide capital and resources to help them massively expand. On the negative side, they could squeeze every dollar out by reducing quality, raising prices, and putting pressure on franchisees. Peter is retaining a minority equity position and will stay on as the CEO. And this is a great sign for the brand since he is not going to let them destroy the culture that he has spent his life building. And here's what I expect to see. Number one is international expansion. Jersey Mike's has barely scratched the surface beyond America. Blackstone's capital and international expertise will drive expansion across the globe. Number two is technology. Every major company is investing into AI-driven technology to improve customer experience, ordering, inventory management, and more. Number three is supply chain. Blackstone's scale could help them negotiate better deals while maintaining quality. But here's where it gets tricky. Peter Crancrow has been highly selective in who becomes franchisees. It is easier to get admitted into Harvard than to own a Jersey Mike's. The best way to become a franchisee is to be an employee first. They've awarded 75 franchises to former employees, with Crancrow co-signing leases and lending money to help cover startup costs. That is unheard of, especially in the private equity world. This is the same extremely restrictive approach that Chick-fil-A uses to only select the best, most dedicated partners, not just someone who can write a check. Will Blackstone continue to allow this restrictive but effective selection process, or will they demand faster growth? What do you think? Will Blackstone help or hurt Jersey Mike's legacy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about building wealth through franchising. Cheers.